Hey everyone, Clarky Shire, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about what is better, the first Outbreak Easter egg or the second. If you guys don't know what the first Outbreak Easter egg is, it's basically just the actual main Outbreak Easter egg, the story that takes place after Firebase Z. We're basically helping Samantha Maxis while she is in lockdown in Requiem. And then as for the second Easter egg of Outbreak, that is the prologue for Mara the Toten. So basically, if you guys don't know what Mara the Toten is, that's going to be the next round-based Zombies Maps Lives coming to Black Ops Cold War, also known as DLC 3, because we did get told that Outbreak is considered DLC 2. So yeah, and doing these two Easter eggs, I generally did like them. It was a lot of fun, a lot of crashing on the second Easter egg, sure, but I did have a lot of fun on both. So I'm going to quickly explain what the first one is and the second one is. I'm not going to say like, oh, where this location is and such, but I'll just give you guys a brief idea of what it is. So for the first Easter egg, you start off a normal Outbreak. You can't do any of the Easter egg for the first two rounds. You can only start off on round 3. So you have a chance to set up, which is good, and I personally don't mind that. And apart from that, when you reach round 3, depending on what map you're on, well, it doesn't depend on what map you're on, no matter what map you're on, there will be a radio that spawns in, and it will only spawn in one location no matter what map you're on. So it's not like there's multiple locations for the radio that you need to look for. So basically, when you find this radio, it will say active signal 1 or 2 maybe, one of the two. And basically, when you find this, basically there will be 3 amplifiers around that area where the radio is. You need to find these amplifiers, and when you do, you basically just need to go ahead and just turn them to what the active signal is. So the active signal will say active signal 1 on the radio. If it's active signal 1, go look for the 3 amplifiers and turn them to active signal 1. When you do that and you go to the main radio where it told you what active signal you need to get to, it will drop a piece. When you drop that piece, go to the main warping teleporter machine kind of thing for you to teleport to the next map. Once you do that, basically you'll be calling Samantha. It will give you an option to call Samantha, and when you do that, you will then be transported to the next map. Well, you do need to transport to the next map once you've finished talking to Samantha. When you've talked with Samantha for the whole way through, all you want to do is look for monkeys around the map. There'll be 4 monkeys each map, no matter what map you spawn in. The one that you particularly want to look for is just a stoned monkey statue, and it will have like a symbol beside it, like an M or an R. When you shoot it and find it, it will drop a film tape reel or reels, whatever the fuck, right? And when you find it, you need to put it in the slideshow projector and go through the slides, and it'll show a lot of things that are in Ruka. When you're in Ruka, you'll be sent underground to an area that you're not able to go through unless you do the Easter egg. And then once you do that, when you're underground, you need to go find 3 keys and meet up with Ravenov. Once you've found Ravenov and done the 3 keys, you're then in the boss fight. The boss fight has a timer of 8 minutes. And you need to destroy this boss fight while there's many bosses and normal zombies chasing you. And it can be kind of difficult depending on what it is, but they did change as of recently, so it's pretty easier now compared to how it was when it did launch. As for the second Easter egg, again, you can't do anything for the first 2 rounds for the Easter egg. You're just basically getting set up. Another way of just doing the second Easter egg and the first Easter egg quicker is if you just finish the objective, and when you press the teleport button, all you need to do is just shoot the ball thing and you'll instantly skip to round 3. But we're not talking about that. So again, for the first 2 rounds, you're just basically setting up, but you can't do anything until round 3. When you are on round 3, there's going to be a red portal around the map, no matter what map it is. When you find this red portal, you want to go through it, and then you'll be teleported into the sky. There's maybe around about 4 or 5 portals that you need to go through. When we were doing it a lot in our game, it only seemed to be 4 portals. I don't know if it's like different depending on how many players there are, but I was in a 4-player game when doing it, and there seemed to be 4 portals, but that's just a guess, alright? So round about 4 portals will be in the sky. Well, maybe not all of them at once, but when you go through the first red portal that you find, there'll be another red portal spawn. You need to go through that red portal, and it will only spawn in the sky, so make sure not to miss it unless you need to restart. And I don't know if you mess it up you need to restart. I think you don't need to. All you need to do is move to the next map if you do miss it. But if you do go through all red portals, then the last red portal that you go through, it will drop another piece. And by the way, again, every time you go through a portal, another one will spawn in the sky along with you being in the sky, so you need to go through them and not miss them. But when you find this piece, you need to go to the warp and teleporting thing, and then you call Ravenov instead. And by the way, this isn't like, oh, an alternate ending to the first or second, this is the true ending, this is not. No, they're both different separate Easter eggs. The second Easter egg takes place right after the first, so if you guys are wondering that, please do not worry. So basically what happens with the second Easter egg is once you call Ravenov, you're then teleported to Sanatorium. Now, when you teleport to Sanatorium, you need to find a crashed helicopter. When you find this crashed helicopter, you need to clear the area where the crashed helicopter is, so it will be full of zombies and mini-boss zombies. Once you cleared all of them, you then hold square on the radio, and then an Omega group member will tell you what to do. And apparently, again, Ravenov used to work for Omega, so he got close contacts to betray Omega as well. But that's not the case until later. But continuing on with the steps. Once done the steps, you then need to find a red dark ether orb. Shoot it and it will head straight to a carriage or like one of the escort mobility things that is on the bridge of Sanatorium. When you do that, you need to find a broken mystery box location with a bunny on it. When you hold square on it, there will be zombies spawning in and you need to kill all of them. When you killed all of them, you can carry the bunny on your back and take him to the escort mobile. When you've taken to the escort mobile, all you want to do is just defend the area. That's really basically it. That's all I have to say. And then once you do that, you'll be in a circle, like kind of like a tag to totem moving soul box, but you're not collecting souls, you're just surviving while escorting the thing. And you'll be in a completely new different area map as you're following this escort. You're basically going outside the map. When you're outside the map and you've done the escort and found, well, there's many zombies chasing you, you will then hear another radio which will then lead you to like, it's a trap. The guy who we thought would actually help us is a bullshitter. So basically he betrays us, and then there's a lot of zombies, there's orders and stuff, and you need to kill all the zombies and orders in time before you can exfil. So you have 5 minutes to kill all the orders and zombies. When you do that, you exfil, you crash and die, boom, bam, bing, yeah. And that's basically the prologue. Now, going through all those steps, I do want to talk about what is better and what is not. So we'll start off with the first step of both Easter eggs. So again, you can't start off until round 3 for any of them at all. The first step, you're doing the radios. Now, unless you know locations through memory and just looked at a YouTube guide, it's perfectly fine. I don't personally mind it. And then as for the red portals, and hey, I might just need a bit more experience on this, it's more easier because it's like, it's not super complicated when you're doing it for the first time. You're just going through red portals. As for the radio though, when you're doing that for the first time, it can sound a bit complicated. Well, maybe not like super complicated, but just maybe a tiny bit if you're doing it for the first time. And then once you've done that, basically, and then honestly, I'd probably have to say it would have to go to the red portal step because it just sounds more easier. Again, I haven't personally done it for myself. I'll probably need to do this solo myself. But honestly, it's really not bad. It's more simpler, and as long as you don't miss, you're totally fine. Nothing bad will happen. It's just you just need to make sure you don't miss, and it's not super complicated. And as long as you can see where the red portals are, you'll be good shit. And again, the radio isn't bad. I don't think the radio step is super bad at all. I think it is quite a good step. It's just knowing the locations and where they are and how the step works. That's it. And then once you know, it's simple as. So yeah, but apart from that, from like first impressions on how the step works and like when you're doing it for the first time, I am probably going to give it to the red portal step. Now, when it comes to the second step, there's 4. So the second step for the first Easter egg on Outbreak, there is 4 monkey locations each map. And out of the 4 monkey locations, you just need to find a reel that will drop. It can be very complicated because they're added in more maps as it is going on. For instance, so I was helping a friend yesterday who didn't do the first Outbreak Easter egg, and we got the map Zoo where we had to search for the monkeys on round 4. I only knew 1 location, we never got in, we had to search up for a guide. The monkey step isn't all that bad as long as you know most of the locations for the other maps, but the fact that there's going to be more maps added and stuff, it's just going to be a bit, you know, it's going to be a bit hasty, and yeah, it's really not, yeah. And going for the second step for Outbreak second Easter egg, finding the crash helicopter, it's definitely easy as fuck. Like my grandmother could do it, man. It's that easy. All you're doing is finding the crash helicopter and clearing out all the zombies. So honestly, I'm definitely giving the second step to the second step to the second Outbreak Easter egg all the way. And then as for the third step for the Easter egg and stuff, on the first Outbreak Easter egg, basically all you're doing is basically putting in reels. And well, well, that is considered the step, I guess. So yeah, third step. And as for the third step on the Outbreak's second Easter egg, I don't really know, man. I can't. When I think about this, like I'm probably like, again, I've only done this once. If I do miss out like one step and like that's not actually this step or that step, just let me know just in case. But again, once you've found the radio, once you've the third step on the Outbreak second Easter egg is basically you shooting the darkie for portal. Now in my game, when we were doing it, it transported to a location and then it just went back to where it was to just go to another bit. So it basically took a bit long. So honestly, I'm going to give the third step to the Outbreak's first Easter egg. For the fourth step, basically you're just finding the crash mystery box on the Outbreak second Easter egg. I definitely don't think that's bad at all, but there is multiple mystery box locations, and the fact that it's like super big on Fireteam Dirty Bomb maps and stuff, it is quite huge. So yeah, and then as for the fourth step for Outbreak, you're instantly transported to Ruka and then you just see go down the elevator. So I'm definitely going to give this one to the first Outbreak Easter egg. So basically we're tied now for 2 points each basically. And then for the fifth step on the Outbreak's first Easter egg, all you're doing is just basically holding square on a button, and I'm not going to consider that a step. Technically the fifth step is just finding Ravenov, but I'm going to combine where you're finding the keys and finding Ravenov. Finding Ravenov is easy, all you need to do is hold square on a button and there you go, it plays the cinematic. And then as for the keys, doing the first one, which is just collecting crystals and stuff and then basically escorting it all the way and then to the jellyfish, it's definitely not bad. And then along with just killing all the mimics, it's a lot of mimics, but as long as you have like a ray gun or just a really good weapon with brainwash, you should be good. And then as for the monkey, that seems to be not like super difficult. It's definitely not super difficult, but if I had to choose which one is the most like annoying one, it would definitely be the monkey one. But apart from that, that's it. And then as for the other step for the Outbreak second Easter egg, once you place the bunny in, all you're doing is escorting. Really, holy shit, it's a lot of hype moments because you're going into an area where you haven't been before in the map. Now, I'm probably going to give this to the Outbreak second Easter egg because I know you go to a new area in Ruka, sure, but within the Outbreak second Easter egg, they done it better because, as you know, within Outbreak, there's a purple like wall blocking the whole surrounding of the map. In the Outbreak second Easter egg in Sanatorium, you can do that shit, which I definitely find is really cool, along with many zombies. If I had to say which one was most chaotic though, it'd definitely be the Outbreak second Easter egg. But the fact alone that you go into an area that you wouldn't go before and going outside of a map, I think that is definitely cool. So I'm going to give that to the Outbreak second Easter egg. And then after that, for the boss fight on the Outbreak first Easter egg, it's definitely cooler to me in my opinion. I definitely do think the Outbreak first Easter egg boss fight is cooler. Because all you're basically doing is just doing a simple how exfil works, but it's more chaotic and it's in a new area with orders basically just spawning too many zombies and yada yada yada, you know. And then as for the boss fight in Legion, how it is now, it sure is easier now with like no super sprinters and sure it's still got the mini zombies, but the fact that there is a timer in Legion just is a cool looking boss, and we fought Order so many times in Firebase Z when you get to around 30 or 31 or 32 for the first time, doing the Firebase Z Easter egg for the first time, or just playing simple Outbreak, or doing the Outbreak second Easter egg. There's so many orders, but as for Legion, it definitely is really cool. So honestly, I'm going to give the boss fight to Legion. And then as for cutscenes, in the Outbreak first cutscene, all you're doing is basically exfilling, like you're just getting on a helicopter. Like you don't see the normal exfil cutscene like you would do when you get to round 10 in normal exfil. Just a helicopter arrives and there you go, you hop on, and it's different from a different perspective. And then as for the Outbreak second Easter egg, they literally say fuck you to the exfil cutscenes. You get on and you might think, oh, it's just normal exfilling, but no, Omega shoots down the helicopter and we see Kravchenko saying that he owns Requiem now. So I definitely do think it's cool because the Outbreak second Easter egg is hyping up. So honestly, for cutscenes wise, the Outbreak second Easter egg is taking the W on that one. So yeah, that's basically all my points. So basically, I'm pretty sure it's either tied or the Outbreak second Easter egg's got one more point than the other. That's how it is. And I know I might have like said stuff that people might have not have understood. I might have talked a bit fast. I am really sorry about that. But if I had to choose one, I don't really know, man. I might need to give the Outbreak second Easter egg another try myself solo. So honestly, in my opinion, as of right now, I really do like the Outbreak first Easter egg due to its boss fight. The Outbreak second Easter egg, I don't know yet. It's particularly because of its crashes as well, but if we're excusing crashes, the Outbreak second Easter egg is definitely way cooler. But honestly, I might just have to choose both on this one, because they both lead up to hype moments, and sure, the cutscene on the Outbreak first Easter egg is a bit but honestly, the Outbreak first Easter egg was cooler due to its boss, and it led up to more hype moments that was leading you to that hype moment for a boss fight. And then for the Outbreak second Easter egg, it leads you more into the story, and that Kravchenko was just a piece of shit. So yeah, but that's really all I have to say. So I'm honestly going to say both. They're both equally good in my opinion. And honestly, I've been really enjoying Outbreak as a whole. I've been really enjoying Cold War Zombies, even though it's had its moments with crashes and stuff and hardly any maps. But Marrow to Totem, man, I'm really excited to see what they do with that. So yeah, but anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. If you guys did enjoy, please subscribe, leave a like, click the notification bell, always subscribe to the channel. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video live stream, boys. And goodbye!